Chelsea apparently been given the price tag for Rodrygo, who's not on an insane wage. Arsenal also interested in the Real Madrid superstar. Both Chelsea and Arsenal really want a starting left-sided winger, right-footed attacker. Rodrygo would fit the bill for both Arsenal and Chelsea, of course. Upgrades on Martinelli for Arsenal, and then Chelsea, whoever you want to select, Neto out of position, Mudryk going to be banned probably from football, and Sancho maybe sent back to Man United. Tyreek George is good, but he ain't starting over Rodrygo right now. So that's a big story. We're also going to speak about Victor Osimhen yet again. John Obi Mikel, the middleman, his de facto agent of sorts, trying to get the deal done. Of course, lots and lots of stories about, the likes of Delap maybe going to Manchester United. Victor Gyökeres, could he go to Manchester United as well? Of course, Arsenal are looking at him. Look, if I can't see well, maybe there's a weird world where Man United signed both Delap and Victor Gyökeres and Matheus Cunha. But with Jim Ratcliffe constantly going on about how financially ruined they are, it seems unlikely to me. Even if they win the big game tonight and get Champions League football and a trophy. But look, I reckon it's one or the other. But yes, if, for example, Delap does want to go back up north, if somehow Manchester United, and more, a bigger salient point would be Ruben Amorim convinces Gyökeres to join Man United, his old gaffer where he scored loads of goals. And, it's still Man United. I know they're bad, but it is still them. Not many strikers left. Arsenal could be turning their attentions back to Benjamin Sesko. Of course, Chelsea also interested. Everyone is seemingly interested in everyone in the market at the moment. But Arsenal have done a lot of work on Benjamin Sesko. It was rumoured that he was Arteta's second favourite after the probably unobtainable Alexander Isak. It's tough. It leaves Chelsea maybe dancing on our own when the music stops. And Victor Osimhen wants a lot of money. I think he does want to come to Chelsea, but he wants to get paid. We're going to get into all of that today, as well as some Tomas Araujo, the Benfica defender stuff. He looks pretty good, actually. We've been looking at him, apparently, so saith multiple publications. It's going to be a ding-dong of the video. What a big introduction I've done. Guys, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Thank you for joining me here on the channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing. There's been great support lately here on Football Therapy, and I'm grateful for that. So let's get into it. Alrighty. I'm not going to share this particular page, but coming from Get Football News, and I'm citing this from goal.com, Chelsea turn attention to Benfica's star in £46 million defensive shake-up after Dean Howson setback. Of course, we really did want Dean Howson. He's gone to Real Madrid. They've since announced him. Obviously, one game to go for Bournemouth, but he's going there. I've kind of nailed my colours to the mast, and I'd really like Mark Guehi. Of course, we've been linked to the likes of Jared Brantwaite. He's a good player, but I think he'd be way too expensive, and his stats don't really, really excite me. So, there's even been stories about Tony Rudiger returning to Chelsea, should he be available, and we've seen that, we will break, in certain instances, our only signing children rule. So this article says Chelsea have turned their attention towards Benfica's rising star, Tomas Araujo. I believe that's how you say it. Having lost their top transfer target, Dean Howson, to Real Madrid. Chelsea are prepared to invest in their backline and were leading the race to sign Howson until, of course, Real Madrid finally entered the race and basically snapped him up. So we're looking at this younger player, Benfica star Araujo. And this is a report from all different publications at the moment. He could cost 40-something odd quid. £million, not 40. 40 odd something quid, mate. 47 quid, yeah? Just really quickly, let's have a look at this guy's stats. This is his FB Ref scouting report strengths. And there's a lot of green. That's what we like to see. Progressive passes received, I guess. Yeah, so, yeah, that's good. Top 99th percentile in free metrics. Tackles in the attacking third. Now, Thomas Tuchel would be looking at that and going, nom, 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 nom. High turnovers. Tackles in the offensive third. Getting the ball back quickly and scoring. That's what we want. Top teams want that. Take-ons attempted. dribbles. So this is really, really good versus centre-backs. It looks like it's given the option versus fullbacks as well. So maybe he is a versatile player. Look, yellow cards, doesn't receive many yellow cards. He's very good at progressive carries, which means dribbling the ball up the pitch and helping your team. Shots on target, very, very strong. Wow, if he only takes a shot, if it's going to hit the target. I like it. Goal creating actions is very strong. Successful take-ons, again, dribbling, 1v1s, very strong. Carries into the penalty area, very strong. He can defend well. He can dribble well. He can pass well. It's a yes from me, Clive. It looks good, bro. It looks good. We're going to quickly look at his X value page for further context as well. Here he is. He's, in terms of his play style, player functions, it's split nicely, so he does a multitude of different things. He is a 23-year-old, so he's not a 16-year-old, which is nice. He's 23. He is a right-footed centre-back. So I guess, finally, we're looking at that, you know, if Chalobah is to go, you know, again, I'm not selling him, Chelsea are, that side. It looks like here he can... play right back, right centre back, and yeah. Look, if you looking at his heat map here, look at this performance chart though. This is strong. Very good at passing, which of course Maresca will love. Very good at recoveries, very important. Very good at aerials. We're terrible in the air, and he dribbles as well. So he looks like a really well balanced player. Of course, playing in the Portuguese league, context is required. But these players have to come from somewhere. You know, you can't always be buying players from Real Madrid. More from that in a moment. Let's have a look then at his stats per 90. Ooh, it's quite a well-rounded polar chart. Good at short passing, long. None of this is bad. Interceptions, not necessarily high, but I wonder if that's a playstyle thing for Benfica. We know he's good at tackles and high turnovers. Amazing at dribbling, amazing at passing, amazing at progressive passing. A centre-back that helps the attack. He's very good at progression. Let me see, Very good at progression and his duels he's strong at as well. Defensive actions, pretty strong. He looks like a good young player. Not too young at 23, so he's not like a complete child. Experience there. And... yeah, man, pretty good. I mean, for the 43 million quid or whatever it was being, you know, reported, of course, Benfica generally aren't in positions to charge insane money unless they're selling Enzo Fernandez mid-season after a World Cup win. They also sold Joao Felix for a lot of money. They've done all right, Benfica, but maybe for a centre-back, yeah, that in the off-season, in the summer, that's probably what they demand, of course. Let's talk about attackers then. Guys, before we speak about Osimhen and Rodrygo, a little reminder to you that there's daily and often multiple daily pieces of content on the second channel, Football Yannick. Maybe a reminder to go support the content there as well. It's non-Chelsea stuff. It's a lot of fun. I've been really, really enjoying it, and seemingly you guys have been enjoying it too. Yeah, man, I picked that channel up on like, I don't know, 13, 14,000. We're like 16.5 thousand subs now, so it's got some great momentum, and you guys seem to enjoy it, so thank you for the support over on YouTube on Football Yannick. Just swap therapy for Yannick. Right, so let's talk about Osimhen then. Yet again, John Obi Mikel has been banging this drum. He's spoken on his podcast yet again. I'm reading this from Chelsea.news, which is Cy Phillips's Chelsea news website. Look, to reiterate, I will say what I've said. Chelsea need a good striker. At this point, I kind of don't care who it is. As long as it's like either a great striker or a good striker that's obviously getting better and obviously starts above Nico Jackson, which is quite a few at the moment. And this is not a hit piece on Jackson. I still think he's got a very high ceiling, like I always say. But the problem with Osimhen is wages. I think it's going to come down to him with a decision. Do I want to go to Saudi or do I want to go to Chelsea? Because Man United, of course, they're the biggest club in England. There's always stories about Man United. But apparently they've been leading the race to sign Delap, to sign Osimhen at points. And indeed, this isn't a Man United channel or stuff. I would talk about this on Football Yannick. But they've been heavily linked with Gyökeres, which I was waiting to happen. Purely because of Ruben Amorim. Man United have been awful. They've been absolute dog doo-doo. No swearing. But they're still Man United. They'll still probably put themselves in a position where they'll give a big striker high wages. And it's that Gyökeres Amorim link that I'm worried about. Look, I would prefer Osimhen than Gyökeres. There's something about Gyökeres I'm not entirely sure of yet. I'll probably be proven wrong. He'll probably score loads of goals. But yeah, and look, Delap apparently doesn't want to be in London, which is kind of fine. So John Obi Mikel has reiterated this again. He said this, quote, "We have to get Victor Osimhen." And by the way, this is his mate, this is his countryman, you know, he's obviously going to be on this campaign. But he's a Chelsea fan who wants Osimhen as well. He says this, so he's really firming up his position on this, because he was a bit like, yeah, I've spoken to Paul Winstanley, he's a good guy, the project's good, like, you know, if we get Osimhen, great, but if we don't, we'll still progress. He did a lot of that, John Obi Mikel, and now he's saying, we have to get Victor Osimhen, it will be a disaster after everything we have been through between me, the club, and him, if he goes somewhere and wears another shirt. He has been on fire. The hunger he plays with, he's reliable, he gets you goals and assists. Victor is tailor-made for us. He supported us growing up. His idol is Drogba. How many times am I going to say this? He bleeds blue. He wants to play for us. It would literally be a phone call, a couple of days, and done. I have done all I can. It is now down to the club. Great. I agree that he will solve the problems, yeah? Yes, and it's nice that he's a Chelsea fan, yada yada, and he has been very good. For those of you who are like, no, it's the Turkish league, he's still gone there, scored a ridiculous amount of goals, won like the League Cup and the League Double, and been like the guy. He's still been, do you know what I mean? And scored some amazing, like, he's the guy. He is the guy. He will score goals for Chelsea, right? I'd put the farm on it, mate. More so than, of course, I'm trying to think. I was about to say Morata, which is mental. Lukaku. Lukaku was a weird one because I did think he sort of did and would have scored goals for Chelsea if he didn't just go mental and did that interview. But yeah, Lukaku's a complicated guy. I don't think Osimhen's a complicated guy. I think he'll just score goals. The truth is, you've got the mainstream reporters, the big dogs, saying it's finances. He'll probably go to Saudi because he won't get the money he wants. Not at Chelsea, in the Premier League. Yeah? Arsenal pay a massive, bigger base wage than us. And we were willing to break our structure, our floor, but still top him up with the incentives to get what he wants. Look, you guys have been correcting me in the comments saying, look, actually, he doesn't want 200k a week. He wants 450k a week because he wants 200k a week after tax in the UK. So, look, I cannot endorse Chelsea paying £450,000 a week to any player bar 2010 Lionel Messi. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't do it, especially with the team we got now of these youngsters trying really, really hard on like 80 to 100k a week. Some guy comes in and what if he doesn't work, or what if he gets the arse, or what if he gets injured? I worry about it. But if, for what John Obi Mikel is saying, he wants to play for us, he bleeds blue. A message to Osimhen: if you bleed blue, accept our highest paid player at Chelsea. You can be the highest paid player at Chelsea, but not not destructive wages, disruptive wages, and detrimental wages. Come to Chelsea, get a massive wage, an incentivized wage where you can earn loads of extra if you score goals and win titles. But don't come in and ruin the dressing room with a really unrealistic wage demand that Man United won't pay, Arsenal won't pay, and certainly Chelsea won't pay. One phone call. Right, let's speak about Rodrygo. I can't do the Brazilian R. This is coming from Ben Jacobs on Give Me Sport, as you can see. Yeah. Chelsea fans could see themselves lining up with a world-class superstar next season. Give Me Sport sources have revealed, with Real Madrid and Rodrygo being on their radar ahead of a potential move, the Blues being, quote, alert to the opportunity. I'm certainly alert to the opportunity. Rodrygo joined Madrid 6 years ago. Ruddy heck. How old is he? I swear he's really young still. I can't spell Rodrygo. He's 24. Yeah, so he joined, he's 18. Okay, fine. I accept. And has since registered 250 appearances for the side, scoring 68 goals, which is not much, but of course often he's played out of position. But despite earning £200,000 per week, other stars have limited his game time, and that could see the Premier League club make their move for him in the summer. He is a superstar, Rodrygo. Make no bones about him. He is a Galactico. Some Real Madrid fans would be desperate not to sell him. Some of them are like, oh, we'll let him go because he's not been, scoring loads or whatever. But he's been scoring goals in the Real Madrid shirt. He's yet to enter his prime. And his diminishing numbers are due to being played out of position. And his diminishing time as well. Give Me Sport sources have revealed that Rodrygo is another player on Chelsea's radar as Enzo Maresca aims to bolster his wide ranks. Of course, we want a right-footed left-sided attacker, which he is. He's, in terms of appearances, he's 7th in the squad for appearances, which is, he wants to be, in the top 3. He wants to, and you come to Chelsea, it'll probably be hopefully a first choice goalkeeper that we've nailed down, because this was the goalkeeper, Cole Palmer or Caicedo, and then you. Do you know what I mean? That's what you'd be at Chelsea. Here we go. Cole Palmer is featured predominantly as a number 10 for the Blues this season, leaving Sancho on the left or Pedro Neto out of position or Noni Madueke out of position. But with Sancho failing to pull up trees in West London, Mudryk being banned, and Nkunku leaving, Nkunku's been awful at the left anyway, we need that left-sided player. It is thought that Real Madrid will be holding out for 100 million euros, which is 84 million pounds, which, yeah, to be fair, Rodrygo, 84 million quid. I'm not saying it's a bargain, but it's certainly not overpriced, Someone like an Isak would cost 150 million, 84 million for Real Madrid's 24-year-old Rodrygo is pretty much fine, really. And of course, Chelsea and Arsenal are keen and alert for the Brazilian. Alrighty. Yeah, I'd love it. Obviously, I'd get very, very excited. Whether it would work or not, you will never know. That's the nature of football, isn't it? But how could you not be incredibly excited of the prospect should Chelsea somehow manage to sign Rodrygo? Of course, it's worth mentioning as well, I reacted yesterday to Todd Bowley's comments, essentially inferring that the rift between the ownership is over. And of course, we've since seen both him and Badalik Bali in the stadium together, chatting. So if they're realigned and if they're hashtag mates again, and Todd Bowley as chairman has a voice again in transfers, and he's not getting muscled out by Badad. We know Todd Bowley likes Galactico signings. That's his vibe. He wants to sign big names. He thinks it's important for sports teams. I think he's on board with the sporting director project and signing the children of tomorrow, or the children of today, the stars of tomorrow. But he also, by all accounts, would want those marquee signings, Todd Bowley. And make no bones about it, mate. Rodrygo is a marquee signing. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you as always for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to Football Therapy. You're all most welcome. Keep it locked, of course, to the sister channel, Football Yannick. And now you've reached the end of the video, you can check it out on YouTube. Just Google YouTube Football Yannick. Go sub there, because I'll of course be reacting to the Europa League final and stuff like that. All right, mate. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the football. Peace.